I'm supposed to be here to be second best, right? I'm not doing this.
You never seem to like it.
Yeah, I'm not doing this for that.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the I Hate This Industry podcast. I am your host, Daryl Reese Jr.
And I'm Steven Almeida. Together we dive deep into the chaotic, the controversial, and the downright crazy world of the entertainment industry.
That's right, Steve. Every week, we bring you our unfiltered, unapologetic take on the latest happening in the culture, music, movies, television, and everything in between.
Whether it's the latest Hollywood scandal, the hottest new release, or the industry's dirty little secrets, we're here to give you the inside scoop with a heavy dose of humor and a pinch of sarcasm.
We don't pull punches and we don't sugarcoat. If there's one thing that we promise, it's to keep it real. We're not afraid to call out the BS, and we celebrate the brilliant.
So if you're tired of the fluff and looking for a fresh perspective, you've come to the right place. Buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster ride through the glitz and the grime of the entertainment world.
And don't forget, we love hearing from you guys. So if you want to join the conversation, our social media will be listed below, all our channels and things of that nature. So let us know what you love, let us know what you hate, and everything in between.
Hit that subscribe button, leave us a review, and share the love or the hate. We're here for it all.
Now let's dive in. This is the I Hate This Industry podcast. TMC, let's go.
Hey, everyone listen to this, please.
So what's good though, bro? How you been? What's your week?
What's good, man? Man, I've been all right. Been working on this film. Like I really been locked in on this film and this story, because I had to take 10 steps back as far as story and script wise, because last year the script was done, but I was just looking at it, revising it, and I was just like, I gotta take, like as a filmmaker, like stuff just changes, and there's no timetable on the film process, especially developing the film. So yeah, I just been working on the story. I think I finally got that in between. It's the middle climax part that was my issue. I think I finally narrowed that down.
You talking about the foundation film?
Yeah.
I love the idea. The idea is great. And I'm a big fan of universes as well, like creating this universe where everything links together and you could tell all these different stories and connect it to this core idea. And I think what you had was great. But my issue had always been the story just needed to be tightened, because it's as you start creating something, the ideas develop almost every day when you're trying to okay, I want to do this. So you start, what becomes tighter on one part becomes loose on the other end. And then you have to come back at some point and tighten it up or rearrange everything. And I feel like as we were running through ideas, those ideas get stronger and the original concepts become weaker. And it's like, okay, at some point you got to like hammer down on what this core idea is. And then storytelling is also a skill set that takes work and development. You know what I mean? So like, we're not telling the same story the same way as we were 2 years ago or 3 years ago when the idea first, the inception of the idea. I haven't revisited my script in a while, or I know I got to go back and tighten things up. But yeah, we got to chop it up about that.
Oh yeah, we definitely discussed that off camera.
Yo, 50 sold the rights.
Yeah, I seen that.
Is he the biggest bully in the industry?
I think so, man. I think if you look at the 50 Cent projects, from Power to BMF to Ghost, and every one of those have an antagonist in those stories, and he plays his own antagonist in Power. He plays Kanan, and you can look at the way he developed the antagonist role. We often cater to that, and this is 50 in real life. Like his antagonist roles in his films and in him in real life, he's a bully, he's aggressive, he's the Omega, he's the Messiah, he's that in
he came in the industry that way.
Right. And that's really how we was introduced to 50. Like that's how I was introduced to 50, through the beef with Ja Rule and throughout the album battles with him and Kanye. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I was introduced to him.
You know what's crazy? And look at the generation gap. You got introduced to 50 through that Ja Rule beef and that era of him. I got introduced to 50 through How to Rob, where he was
Right.
like just coming at everybody in this industry. Like his introduction to the game was this guy who's just poking at every artist that was kind of on top and had that had a buzz and had a name, and he was just coming for them. And I remember this interview that came out years later where Jay-Z was it Memphis Bleak who was talking about it, but he said that Jay told him, had them all in the room in the studio and was like, yo, y'all better figure out what y'all gonna do because 50's
50
coming.
And you know, I remember one time walking in the studio, Bleak Beans, everybody was in there, and I was like, man, I'm telling you, man, y'all got a chance right now, just flood it, put out a lot of music because 50 Cent is coming. And you know, 4 months later in the club hit and it was over. It was just like, okay,
I remember hearing
everybody
about
gotta
that.
sit on the sidelines
All these
and
years,
wait-
and then
wait this
you seen
tight
how he
wave out.
was with the Rick Ross beef. He's a comedian, he's funny, he's petty, but his issue with Diddy has been for a while, and it's at a point now where it's crazy. He has this documentary. It's called Diddy Do It.
That's the name of it. I ain't really
Yeah.
seen the name of it. That's crazy.
The name is Diddy Do It, which is wild. But even though I'm laughing, there's nothing funny about that video that surfaced with Diddy putting hands on Cassie.
Oh yeah,
What
yeah,
were
that
your
was.
thoughts on that? Because I'm not ashamed to say Diddy is somebody I looked up to, and I respected his business accolades, what he's done in the industry. You can't take that away from him, and that was a big motivating factor for me as an entrepreneur in this entertainment industry. But I can't support that. There's just some things I can't support in a person, and I don't think the accolades and the work ethic, I mean, those things can be separated from the man himself, you know, and his actions and the things that he does on a personal level.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I kind of looked at him the same way as far as him doing Revolt, him having the deal with Ciroc, and throughout the Bad Boy situation. Like I always looked at it as a sense of motivation. Like, okay, that's how I look at it. That as it was just strictly that. I never really just looked at him a certain way. Like I always heard rumors and rumblings and things like that on social media, but that's all it was with that. And Charlamagne and DJ Envy had a interesting back and forth of like Charlamagne was like he looked at Diddy and people look at Diddy as an inspiration or motivation and things like that. And Envy was like, well, we don't know, we can't look at these people like this because we don't know them as a person and things like that. Only look up, like he was telling people who he looked up to. And then Charlamagne rebutted that. He was just like, of course, they only show you what they want you to see. We don't know these everyday, we don't know what they doing every day. So we only like quote unquote idolize or be motivated about what they show us. So it's the same with me with Nipsey, it's the same with Kanye and Jay-Z. Like I'm only motivated by what they show us. I'm not idolizing him as a person because I don't know him as a person. I don't know that. So yeah, when that video dropped, I was just like, damn. Like I was watching, I was like, damn.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
like,
it was
yeah,
rough.
it's a terrible situation. Terrible situation. I was just like, the way he was talking before the video dropped, as if we just
It was
gotta
all
wait and
fake
see, or
allegations. Yeah.
the truth shall come to the light. Like, man, nigga, the truth came on the camera. So like we seen
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
truth
yeah.
right there. And then we
So it's
like,
like,
okay, are we forced to believe everything that Cassie has said about the situation? And our mind instantly goes to, okay, like what she's saying, like, okay, damn, a lot of this shit could be true. A lot of it
yeah,
could be.
a lot of it could be. It's rough, but it at this point with everything that came out, with that video coming out, it's hard now to say, oh, she's just making things up, or maybe
Right.
things are exaggerated, and that's cool because when you have proof like that, it's like you lost the um innocent until proven guilty. You lost that now. Now you gotta deal with with it being like you're kind of guilty, and all the other things just kind of have to get proven or not. You know, I saw Charlamagne said something that I agreed with, and I think it is a take that a lot of people won't agree with, but he said that we have to, because this is true in our culture. He said we have to separate the problem from the celebrity.
Yeah.
Because we do live in a culture, especially here in America, we do live in a culture where there's a lot of idol worship, a lot of celebrity worship. And we care more that it's Diddy than the actual problem. And
Right.
I think that's something that definitely has to be highlighted, where it's, yeah, it being Diddy is impactful because of his status, but the bigger issue is the abuse, is the fact of wealthy men having this toxic relationship with power and control and money and everything. And
I think when it comes to that situation, man, I think we shouldn't focus on the individual. We should focus on the issue. Because I think what happens a lot of times is, you know, because of the celebrity, we get lost in talking about the celebrity and not talking about the actual issue. The issue is domestic violence.
Yep,
The issue is exactly what I just said about, you know, men not going to do the proper work on themselves, and they're dealing with a lot of pain and a lot of hurt and unhealed trauma, and they're projecting that pain and that hurt on the other people. The issue is patriarchy, right? Because as long as you have a system where men feel superior to women and they're dealing with that pain and they're dealing with that hurt, they're going to project that. You know, we're going to continue to project that onto our women. So I think those are the issues that we should be discussing as opposed to talking about the individual. And we tend to do that a lot as a society. We get lost in the celebrity of things as opposed to, okay, what are we here for?
so I think that's the bigger conversation, because it doesn't just happen in entertainment. It doesn't just happen with guys like Diddy. What do you think about the rumor being that it was because he was trying to tarnish the Ciroc brand, not the Ciroc brand, the company that owns Ciroc.
So you said he was trying to buy NBC?
Yeah.
I mean, with that situation,
I think Diago, that's the name of the company.
I mean, with that, I ain't really heard too much about that. At the end of the day, if you look at Diddy from the Bad Boy era to now, and the fame and the power that he's got, even before Ciroc, like, he was a nasty nigga before then. Like, you can
100%.
You can almost see the demeanor. You can almost see the look on his face. Like, when people talk about these Diddy parties, like from Joe Budden's standpoint, well, I don't know how their relationship now, but I'm cool with this guy. I'm in the party. There's no cameras. Whatever wild shit he do, I'm going to just sweep it under the rug. I'm going to laugh with it. I'm going to do this and that, and then I'm going to just go off about my day. I can, like, it's a lot of people that have seen wild shit within the Diddy circle that didn't say anything at all.
It's tough when it's in the public eye to separate the good from the bad, but the reality is, whether he's a piece of shit of a human being or not, or whether he's just, and I can't say that because maybe he's different today. That's also from a long time ago, you know, that incident. Doesn't help that he lied about it, but those situations, he might not be that person today. He also did a lot of good, you know. And what was that Dave Chappelle bit? That I love this bit because it's so real. And he was talking about Bill Cosby, right? And he goes and he makes this reference to, like, what if there's a superhero who saves people? It's like he rapes, but he saves.
I have a superhero you love because he's stronger than Superman, and he fights for truth, justice, and the American way like Superman, but more than Superman. He beats up Mexicans for no reason. The Texan's like, you got my attention. I was like, man, this motherfucker is so strong. He can fly and do all this great shit. Only problem with this guy is he can't even activate his powers unless he touches a woman's vagina. Not a long touch, just a couple of pats. He said, well, what's the problem with that? I said, well, the problem, sir, is that our hero is not, he's not a handsome man. And he's often short on cash. So whenever trouble breaks out, he has to run around the city and convince women to let him pat their vaginas. Please, miss, that building's on fire. Can I pat your vagina quickly? People are dying, but he can't tell them exactly why. Get away, you're gross. Please, miss, people are dying. Just a couple of pats. Gross, get away. So he rapes them. I know. That's the dilemma for the audience. Because he rapes, but he saves a lot of lives. And he saves way more than he rapes, and he only rapes to save. But he does rape.
The point of the joke is saying, do you condemn them for the bad? But because if you take them away, you remove the person who's saving people. And he was using that as an analogy for what our society, how our society judges people. He clearly uses an extreme of, we remove the good that they do, and then you're just left. And if you take that person away, you're left without the good that this person has done to the community or for the people. And then they're no longer in the community to continue to do good things for it. So are you hurting the community? You know what I mean? So it's like, that was kind of it's a great talking point, a great conversation, but that's a more serious conversation for another time.
Well, man, what else we got on the docket?
So Please Don't Cry, Rhapsody, man.
Yes, indeed. Let me pull up the track list, man.
Let's go. Let's do it.
With Rhapsody, I was introduced to Rhapsody a few years ago when she did the I think it was a Sojourner record with J. Cole.
So you never heard that first album?
Nah.
Oh, bro.
The first Rhapsody album I heard was Eve.
Oh, nah, man. You gotta go to the joint before that.
You know what? Let me go back. The first song I heard was Ooh Wee. That's the first one I heard.
Okay. Man, you gotta go to the
Layla's
Wisdom.
Oh yeah, I heard a little bit of that. I'm looking at the track list.
Bro.
Yeah, I heard a little bit of that.
Layla's Wisdom. We were filming
I gotta save them on my Spotify. That's crazy.
We were filming the Zaki music video, Her Mantra. We were doing the Her Mantra music video when that around the time that album came out, and that was all we played on set, bro, for like those 2 days. Please Don't Cry, bro. It honestly, it gave me, and she's always given me, I hate comparing, but she's always giving me Kendrick vibes, and this album sounds a lot like, it's like her version of Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers.
Yes. I've been playing that album all year.
And I hate to compare her like that, because rightfully so, she's in her own category, her own lane. But it's hard not to make the obvious comparisons.
Oh yeah.
And how she stacks her vocals and the content of the music, her progressions are so crazy. And one of my favorite things about her music is the crazy progressions in her songs, and it's very Kendrickish, very jazz inspired a lot. She taps into a lot of the femininity of hip hop and rap and of people and of human. But when we're talking strictly about the music, I love that she draws this direct correlation to her inspirations. You know what I mean? Like Eve was a good, that was the name of that album, right? Eve?
Yeah, it was a dedication to the women. Like it was a lot of the tracks on that was titled after women that was
after women, but she's like that. She was like that in Layla's Wisdom as well. Not as far as the tracking, but as far as the content. This album was nothing less than amazing.
Man, when because I didn't listen to it when it first came out, I really just wanted to hone it in and just focus on it when I had the time. So I think I heard it a few days ago. Like when I text you about it, I heard it a few days before that.
I didn't realize it dropped until you text me about it. You put it in the notes, and I was like, oh, I gotta go. I spent the whole next day listening to it. The next 2 days.
Oh yeah, because I watched Joe Budden and an interview with Joe Budden in the Breakfast Club, and then I dove into the album. And
as on Joe Budden's podcast.
Yeah.
Oh shit! I
think it's on YouTube. I think they released it on YouTube.
I gotta check it out.
But yeah, I went dove into the album. I really didn't have no expectations for it because I knew the type of artistry, I knew the type of artist Rhapsody was, but I was like, okay, I know I'm gonna love it. But then I dove into it. I got halfway through, and I'm like, man, this is truly an experience. She's taking me through like through a movie, like one of my favorite movies or something like that. She's taking me through an experience and a montage of stories, things she's been through in the past, things she's going through now, how people label female hip hop and the correlation between her type of music and a rapper like Sexy Red or Ice Spice and things like that. She dived into that in that realm too. But then I kept listening to it, and like you said, it had that jazz feel. And then I heard like maybe a voice in the background, and I just kept diving into it. And I checked the production credits, and it was produced like a few songs were I think a lot of songs were produced by Black Odyssey.
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Black Odyssey?
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, I see it. I see it. Because I think she was on Black Odyssey last project or one of his projects before. And I was like, I see his touch. I see his feel and what he did to this record. And I was like, man, it's just truly brilliant from just not only in an album standpoint, but just creating a moment. Because like just me personally, when I'm working on music, when I'm working on film and an album, I like to create moments around the content to where we're not just giving you the music, we're giving you more than that. And we're going to put you through this cinematic experience. And that's what she did. That's what she did with the album. And it's largely narrated by Felicia Rashad. And I was like, man, just hearing her voice throughout our lifetime. And I just like up until now, I'm just like, she has, because I was just watching Creed the other day. And I was just like, man, like that was like a perfect intertwine that she could have done with the album. I was like, man, this is not only genius, but this is truly a beautiful, well-crafted project.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to listen to some more when we get off the call.
Oh yeah, man. That's all I'm listening to since it came out. Honestly, digesting it is, and I've only listened to it in the car. I haven't even listened to it in headphones. I've only been bumping it in the car, and my car has noise cancellation, right?
Right.
So when I have the windows up and everything, you don't hear much of the outside, like the how they call it, the cockpit of the car has this noise isolation feature, and my sound system is awesome. So it's like when I listen to music in the car, it becomes an experience. You know what I mean? It's like it's just very immersive, right? And then got the LED lights all around the car, so it's like when I was bumping it, man, I was just in this zone, man. And it's what you say is very true, man. It transports you. Like it's such an experience listening to it, because putting albums together is a lost art. I feel like it's in hip hop these days. I can't speak for other genres because I still listen to other genres, and they making incredible albums. Hip hop seems to be at this point where we've lost a lot of what crafting an album is because of playlisting, and where we're at, where releasing singles is kind of the thing to do, because people are trying to benefit more from the music than crafting these cultural and impactful projects. And I'm not speaking for everybody. I'm just talking about kind of mainstream, what's really being fed into the mainstream.
Right.
So you have an artist like Rhapsody who put this project, and from the beginning is cinematic. It immerses you almost instantly with the skits in between, with there's a tempo with this album. How it starts off to where it goes, you hear the climax of the album, you see where it declines, you see how she brings it all together, the concepts, the ideas, the cover art. There's a line, I forgot what she I don't know, I can't remember if it was a skit or on one of the records where she mentions she feels like she's been wearing this veil, and that album cover is her under the veil. You know, it's like it was just this amazing storytelling at its finest, man.
Absolutely.
What's your favorite record off this project, man?
Oh, D&D. Do Not Disturb.
D&D?
Oh yeah.
That hook, bro. Ooh, that hook, man. I was feeling that way that day. So when that record came on, I was like, damn, man, she just captured exactly how I was feeling. I love 3 a.m. I'm an Erykah Badu
Erica
fanatic,
Badu.
so
Oh, yeah.
that record is, I love it. Look What You've Done is fire. Asteroids is crazy. They're all good. Stand Tall. Where's the Diary of a Mad Bitch?
Oh, yeah.
Man, she was talking that talk on that record. He Shot Me. I love how she took that Bob Marley melody and flipped it. That was cool. It's not one of my favorite records, but I like the record. You know what I mean? I was like, this is a really dope. What she did was really cool, and it was a good highlight on police brutality and the police shootings and everything. She has a line. I can't remember. Maybe you remember what record is on. She said, "These industry plants, I eat them like Dr. Sabi."
Oh, I definitely remember that line, but I can't remember the record. I can't
I
remember
can't
the record.
remember the record, but she said that. I was like, "Oh,
It's like I just heard that like the other day.
she's going crazy, man. She was going crazy." Uh, Album of the year for me so far.
Oh yeah, definitely. So far, like as far as like you look at albums different, I look at albums different, and especially from the standpoint of us putting out music and things
Yeah,
like that, we look at it totally different too. And I look at this as a source of inspiration for what I'm doing. Like
100%.
I was listening to this and I was like, damn, like I gotta go back and
Yeah.
add some, I gotta go back and repolish some stuff and things like that with the
Yeah.
album I'm working on. And just man, it was a
Yeah.
truly beautiful gift that
Yeah,
I can see this one of them being one of them albums I just go to like for the rest of my life. Like I really truly feel like that.
I love when music does that. I love when there's things that come out that make me go, "Oh shit, man. Let me be better. Let me get better. Let me get a little more creative."
And I feel like damn, everybody's streaming. People was like, yo, everybody was telling me like Saint, for example, he's hip hop, straight hip hop guys, and he told me he's like, yo, people are not buying albums. You feel me? And it's even weird because they have to ask you, like they ask an artist, like, do you want hard copies? And if you do, how much do you want? To put money behind the hard copies sometimes just really doesn't even make sense these days.
Right.
You know, it's all about the streaming, but
Physical sales versus digital streaming, right? And I kind of want to throw in their impact. Do I guess you weren't really around for the physical sale era, right? Like physical albums or
No,
like buying music, right?
no. Like CDs, yeah. CDs.
Well, yeah, I guess that's what I
CDs,
mean.
yeah.
Yeah, CDs. Do you remember the first CD you bought? I think I've asked you this.
Now, as far as that, no. Like as far as just buying CDs, no.
Yeah.
The first and the only CD I ever bought was Victory Lap.
No way, for real?
Yeah. Like I wasn't like I wanted this CD. Like I wanted this CD. And
Yeah.
like I said, when I wanted, like as far as the physical side of the music, like I was just dialed in on one person. Like you see Victory Lap vinyl, like record player, like vinyl right there. Like I was only dialed in on that. And I just got into like 2 years ago, I just got to the point where I want to start collecting more vinyls.
Oh, bro,
Like right
you
now
see
I got J.
you see the
Cole
collection?
and Nina Simone,
I got the collection on the
Wu-Tang,
wall right there.
Nas. Oh
I
yeah.
got the Mac Miller NPR. You see that top one up there? That's Caroline, the Outcast single.
Right.
That's just a single, right? And that vinyl particularly is created by Mass Appeal. And it has like the Caroline, Would You Be My Valentine, like written in lipstick on the actual vinyl.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
It's a record store near me that I'm gonna visit soon. And I want to get more into it. Like I said, I only got Nipsey, J. Cole, and Nina Simone.
Vinyls are expensive, my brother.
Oh yeah.
There's over $100 in vinyls on this wall right now.
Oh yeah.
As a music connoisseur, it's crazy saying that. I would never spend, and I used to buy CDs, right? I was a CD guy. I used to go to Virgin Megastore down in Times Square. I used to cut class. I got arrested, but I got picked up by truancy in high school for going down for buying the Kingdom Come album. I got the only time I ever got picked up by Truancy for cutting school. I was in Virgin Megastore. I had to have this album the day it came out. I go down there and I bought the album already. I have it, but I'm listening. In Virgin Megastore used to have these stations where you could listen to music. And I was just standing there listening to that. Even though I had it, I should have left. I was just in there. I loved hanging out in that store because it was a music store. And this cop just taps me on my back, on my shoulder. I turn around and I'm like, oh, fuck.
So I was out of a movie or something.
Yeah. I was a consumer of albums, right? I bought music, but I wouldn't spend $30 on a CD, right? Some of these vinyls cost me $30. But that goes to show that a album on streaming costs what? At maximum $10?
Yep.
$11, $12, right?
$11.99, yeah.
So streaming, it costs even less. I mean, depending on what you pay monthly for your service. This wall is proof that, people spend this much money on an album. This album alone, this Nas album, ran me $27. That's a vinyl. Only that if you don't have a vinyl player, you can't even listen to it. So the impact of a physical sale, I feel like when you could physically touch something, there's a different value to it, especially when you craft it to be kind of like that Caroline vinyl I showed you. The style of it, the uniqueness of that particular vinyl, those become collector pieces and collector items, and that you can only get that with a physical copy of something that you have to spend money to and a higher price at that than what a CD ran you back in the day. Where digital sales, that digital sale, it just don't hit the same. And I
at all.
Saying as somebody who used to buy physical copies and who buys vinyls, there's just something weird about it. Not weird, just something that is not satisfying as a consumer.
I feel like as a generation and where we're heading to now, I see a lot of people advocating and leaning more towards the vinyls, like that's coming back as far as like, because it's an experience.
What's old is new again, apparently, and cool again. For the first time since the 80s, sales of vinyl records are now outpacing CDs. People spent around $230 million on vinyl during the first half of the year. It's almost double what was spent on CDs. But more physical CDs were actually sold. Vinyl just made more money because it's more expensive. People in the industry say vinyl isn't just like a thing of the past anymore, and no, it's not going away anytime soon again.
When I first bought, like you was there when the marathon when Nipsey,
and we ordered it at the same time.
When they first dropped that gold limited edition vinyl, like when they first dropped this.
Yeah,
I told you. I was
you just touching it like that? You got no care for you.
Hey, this shit's strong, bro. It's stable.
You're not supposed to touch. I handle my shit with gloves when I play. I be holding it on the sides like this.
I usually do that, but yeah, like when this shit first dropped, like I told you, I was like, bro, I gotta get it. Got to.
Yeah.
The second they dropped that link, I had to. Like
me and you bought it at the same time. I remember.
Oh yeah, like just clicking the album when it first come out, just buying it. Like of course, like I do that more so to support the artist. If I'm
100%.
Music, but if I'm buying your CD, your merch, or your vinyl, like I'm looking to indulge in an experience that I'm gonna live through forever.
Yeah,
like, I'm gonna live through out there forever. So like me personally, when I drop the Foundation album, I want to have like limited vinyls, like maybe like whatever the limit they let me get, maybe if it's 20 or 10 or something like that. Like I want it to be an experience to where if you got this, then it's something I want to live forever within you.
Yeah. So I wanted to introduce I want to do this segment on this podcast called Industry Tip of the Day, man. Or industry tip of the week. So the industry tip of the week for this week would be build a reliable team. Hire people who want to do the job and have passion, experience, and a skill set for the role. So 5 important players you should have on your team. Manager, that's someone who handles the inner workings of your day-to-day operations, has a vested interest in the growth and success of your career. A lawyer, who handles all legal matters within your operation and looks over your contracts and gives legal advice and consultation as to what's best for your career. An agent who negotiates the best opportunities for your career, and a cameraman, editor, and copywriter who handles all the camera work, editing, copywriting for the content creation of your team. Content creator and social media specialist that makes sure all the content is prepped, ready, and aligned with your brand, specializes in understanding how algorithms operate in different social media platforms, has their finger on the pulse of what's trending and what to stay away from on social media. See, as a creative, if you're the artist, if you're the talent, it's hard to do everything. A lot of people do, and we're in a hybrid time of this industry where one person does so many things. But that you could reach a lot more success having everything compartmentalized. So you have a manager to handle all the things all the business end of things and all that, so that you can kind of focus on the talent. Lawyers, a lot of people don't have lawyers, man. A lot of people don't have lawyers, which ends in shitty contracts and bad deals and you getting robbed or your business being misplaced. And so get lawyers, people, get lawyers. Agents, I think a lot of people overlook agents because I think people feel they have to be at a place of like notoriety already to have an agent, and you don't. Like, get an agent to lock in deals for you. You know, you can pay agents. You know what I mean? Pay an agent, get an agent on your team that's out there negotiating and bringing you opportunities. The cameraman is important today because content is king today. So you want a cameraman who's always shooting and recording all the time. And ideally, get you a cameraman that is an editor and also a copywriter, because you don't want to pay a cameraman, an editor, and a copywriter. If that person is also somebody who specializes in social media, that's a plus. But you essentially want a social media department on your team and somebody who handles all that, because social media and the trends and everything is forever changing, damn near every week. So you want somebody who's on top of that, who's posting. Like, it's hard to do all that and then be concerned with making sure your social media presence is alive and active and current.
I mean, yeah, to piggyback off that, as far as from my position, I'm sure you can relate. I ain't gonna say there's been times. There are times now to where we have worn the hats of all those things. And even times now, like, I'm gonna say this on the tips aspect. It's easier said than done. And a lot of people revert to wearing many hats because it's cost efficient, and they don't really look at it as, okay, I'm mentally being worn down on things like that. And if we had the money, we had the funds, we would do that.
Yeah.
But it's also feasible as far as finding someone that you know, a friend or someone that's eager to learn, that you can find a way to teach them the ropes a little bit. That are eager to just seek knowledge and things like that. So, okay, I want to get in video. Like, okay, let's start with your phone. Let's start with this. Then let's gear up. Let's build up to where we can get a good quality camera. And for social media, is just all about just seeking. Like, it's really just all about seeking the knowledge and just being willing to learn, just willing to want to do it. And if someone truly wants to do it, they're gonna do it. Certain things you just can't teach with that. So yeah, it's very, very important and it's very vital to have those things, because it makes the ship run smoother. It makes everyone's job easier to the point where we can climb the ladder even faster. We can climb the ladder even further to the point where we're not faced with roadblocks. Like, we have this project that we're working on, but damn, we don't have a copywriter. We don't have anyone to shoot these videos. Now we have to outsource to someone we don't know, and now we have to cater to what they do, and rather than intertwine what we have going on. So it's best to have people in-house that are all on one accord. And within that, you can be able to reach all your, like, majority of your goals even faster. Like, it's easier, like the job and the road is less difficult when you have people along with you that's helping you up the mountain. So we know firsthand.
Like what you were saying is, like, find people who are willing to put the work in for that success. Get people who are at the beginning of their careers. You know, find that team and you could build up, but take care of your people, whether it's offering them a piece of the business, whether it's offering them a piece of the project that you're working on, whether, you know, all these things, whether you're working for their career as well as your own, because it's not always about dollar. It's about experience. It's about longevity. And yeah, man, I think we good unless you want to keep building on something else.
I think that's about it, man. I think that's about it. Like we touched on some good topics. We can touch on some more next week.
This has been another episode of the I Hate This Industry podcast. We'll see you next week.